Hey guys, my name is Laurel.
I'm Wes.
And we are the Young Fables, and we are coming to Marine, Illinois this summer.
Yay! It's right outside of St. Louis, so if you're anywhere around, come and see us. We're playing The Barn, and it's on June 22nd. We're so excited to be back there. We love that place.
And tickets are at theyoungfables.com, and we hope to see you there.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Just celebrated 10 years of Rock Paper Podcast, closing out the end of May there. And thank you for making it a great 10 years. I couldn't be here without you. So thanks for continuing to listen and share the show with friends. And means a lot to me. A big episode today featuring some rockers, Path To Midian and Red Tape Riot. They got a big show happening on Saturday night at the historic Miners Theater in Collinsville, Missouri. And you're going to hear all about it on today's episode. Do want to remind you, as always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri. Serving up all your craft beer needs. Over 25 rotating taps over there. All kinds of tasty beverages. Delicious food. You got burgers, nachos, flatbread, pizzas, pretzels, salads, all kinds of favorites over there. And great live music happening every weekend. This week, Thursday night, June 13th, is their Singo Bingo night. And the theme is drinking songs. So come out for that. June 14th, you got Fireside Duo out there. And on Saturday, June 15th, Buddy Entwistle takes the stage. And last summer, they launched their second location, Friendship Brewing in Flint Hill, Missouri, the Fly High location. Same great beer, all new dining experience out of the Fly High kitchen. And you can catch Michael Scott there on Friday, June 14th. And Jeff Walchhauser returns on Saturday, June 15th. You can find full concert calendar, beer menu, food menu, and much more at friendshipbrewingcompany.com. And if you are in the Hannibal, Missouri area, great news, Friendship Brewing's up there now too. Launched a third location in Hannibal just a little while ago, and partnered up with Sidekick Barbecue. So you go up there, get you some barbecue, some cold drinks, and have a great time at Friendship Brewing Company. If you can't stick around, you can always take it to go. They've got packs, cold packs ready to go. You can grab a t-shirt, all kinds of different ways to support. But yeah, come on out and see what's happening at Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Flint Hill, Missouri, and Hannibal. If you need anything from me, you can always find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. Hit me up on the socials. Email me, rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. And with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy a brand new episode with Path To Midian and Red Tape Riot.
Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
What's up, guys? I'm Eric.
This is Mark.
And we're from Path To Midian.
This is Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
Double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast. for Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out tonight with, half of Path To Midian and half of Red Tape Riot, something like that. Somewhere. Members of each band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Loose math.
Well, let's, before we roll in, let's all go around the mics and properly introduce yourselves for those listening.
So I'm Eddie Spinayo. I play drums for Red Tape Riot.
I'm Eric Spiller, and I play guitar for Path To Midian.
Mark Nickel, play drums for Path To Midian.
Phil Billingham, play bass for Red Tape Riot.
I'm Michael Myers. I sing for Red Tape Riot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is cool. It's kind of a...
He also chases children on Halloween.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to say
mask in the
it.
car.
I had to say it.
Well, we this kind of came together nicely. It was a surprise to see some old friends sitting in with this one, but we're gonna have some fun tonight, and we got a reason we're all together. We got a big show happening here in a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
So happening on June 15th at the historic Miners Theater in what is that?
Collinsville,
yeah.
Illinois.
Yeah.
My hometown where I grew up.
Nice, man. I've been over there once. I went to I saw Al Holiday and the East Side Rhythm Band over there,
Oh, nice.
and Brian Crum opened up the show, and it was a great night. It was a lot of fun.
It's a nice venue. They've done a lot of work remodeling it. It's still, how do you say, they haven't changed too much of the structure of the building. They've just updated the seating.
Yeah, it's
But it's a lot of the original, decor and structure inside, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very kind of vaudevillian style. If you've ever been in like the old
Sure.
vaudevillian style theaters, that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah. It's a very cool space, and so I was glad to see that they're doing a lot more with music lately. I know they've been booking quite a few shows there and stuff. So, and including this show was going to be a big one. So, but let's talk about how this. I guess let's start with Path To Midian, and you guys. That way, keep it somewhat focused for myself. You guys are headlining the event, and this is, I guess, kind of a big hometown.
It's a big hometown event. This is our first show, actually.
It's kind of
as
a
this
return.
band. Yeah, since we've regrouped and renamed the band, and we've had some lineup changes and we've reorchestrated a lot of our music over the years and wrote some new material. We decided it was time to kind of reface the band, start over, come up with a new name, Path To Midian. So this is our first time out actively.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting for us.
By the way,
sure.
Path To Midian's a cool name.
It took us a while
Little
to come
double
up with
meaning.
that,
Little
but-
double meaning for the people that really get it. Yeah.
Right.
Well, before we get to that night and everything, though, like, tell me a little bit, like, being that this is kind of, debut in a sense. Like, tell me a little bit more about the history of the group. I mean, like, how this has been going for a little while now, right?
Well, we actually started out as Hung Like a Martyr. We were playing shows as Hung Like a Martyr, played a few shows around. It was me and Paul, the other guitar player in the band, that really started everything out. And then, as Mark mentioned, we've had kind of a revolving door through the years. And once we finally solidified a lineup, we've decided to rebrand a little bit more of a mature name. Not that there was anything wrong with Hung Like a Martyr. It was just, there's only so many dick jokes you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
There's only
So many
damn
more
dick
now.
jokes, yeah. I mean, and we fed into that. We even had the Buddy Christ shirt, if anybody was familiar with that back in the day. If you're not, go check out the bass player for Anvil. He tends to wear it a lot in their photos, so you can see it for yourselves. But
I'm pretty sure I have that shirt.
the Buddy Christ shirt,
I'm pretty sure I do. In the closet.
And so we've been Path To Midian for what?
Going on 2 years now.
2 years,
I think since we released our
Right.
first single back in 2022.
yeah, it's been a slow road back to getting to this show as far as like getting the tracks back, because there was a whole calamitous thing with the tracks and getting everything like together for the CD, and that was a whole spiel. So
we recorded our 2 new singles with rest in peace, our buddy Matthew Amelung.
Yeah.
And after we completed that, we decided we wanted to take all of our previous catalog to him to remix it. He had about 90% of it remixed and was almost completed before he got, his terminal brain cancer, and we lost him. And then it took us a good year or so to retrieve our tracks, find out who had them on what hard drive, and get back what we can, and then regroup his work and finish it so we could put it out there. We wanted to hold justice to his work. It was truly the best our songs had ever sounded. During COVID, our buddy Nate Northway, multiple local bands over the years, Nashville Suicide Mission. He's currently front of house engineer for multiple big acts on the road all the time, very busy.
Shout
But
out
during
to
COVID, obviously he was not working, and he came home and was looking for odd end projects to do. So it worked out perfectly because that was right around the time I had received our tracks from Matthew. And we got him the stuff. He finished it off, polished it off, sounded awesome. And then it took us a while to develop the brand, the name, and put all of our artwork together and get everything going. So this is a big deal for us, kind of. We put out the EP last year. The EP is titled Martyr as a tribute to our last name. And this is like I said, our first premiere show. We're excited to announce and finally get back out in the face of our audience and develop a new audience.
For sure.
Yeah, it's meant to wrap it all up and put a nice little bow on it for all the people that were fans of Hung Like a Martyr as we were. And, it's right there all in one little CD. You can listen to all of the stuff that came from that band that was worth a shit. And now we're moving on to Path To Midian, and not much will change musically, but there will definitely be a little bit more experimentation.
Nice. Yeah, so the record, like I said, that came out 23, April 23.
April last year, yeah.
And then,
something like that.
Right about a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah, the record rips, man. I was listening on the way over and just...
Well, thank you.
It sounds real nice. And we just had a lot of fun with it, and I'm excited to hear some more from it as you guys can, like I said, working on some new things. But we wanted to talk about a song called The Reaper.
Yeah. We just released the video for that one, it happened to be shot at Miners Theater. So the venue that we'll be at for our show is featured prominently within the video.
Yeah, we actually shot that video a year ago.
Yeah.
Right when we released the EP, we went into Miners. I talked to the owner there, and he allowed us access to the building all throughout, the basement, upstairs, all kinds of neat historic rooms in that building. And we're able to do multiple shoots in there and do that. But it took us, like I said, multiple shoots, and took us right at a year to finally put it all together and put it out. So, but it works out because we're getting ready to do the show. And so as an announcement for the show, we're releasing the video that was shot at that theater. So
very nice.
Face to the ground as the army line, disappearing the lives away.
anything spooky happen during that time?
I heard it's haunted.
Yeah.
There was a lot of sweating going on in that basement.
Because
I
Watch the video, you can tell.
rumors that it's a haunted.
Right.
theater.
Yeah.
We're used to that. We practice at Lamp.
Yeah, right.
And there has
We have
been weird
paranormal
stuff
activities every week.
Yeah, we haven't really seen much of that, but we saw a lot of like flying animals come through that were trying to dive bomb a couple people while we were doing the thing. So that was fun. Yeah, you remember? Yeah, the bat. You remember when the bat went after Bruce and the yeah?
Oh my god!
that
I
ain't
can
the
only
metalist
imagine.
thing
Yeah, that was
ever.
good times. Yeah, that was a good time.
He didn't bite the head off it.
No, like he was. Yeah, he was trying to go off the side of the stage to go into the little area off the stage. And like all of a sudden, you just saw this thing dive bombing, boy, and he was like, "What the?" He's like running out of the noon, like, yeah, it was great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, highlight of the day.
Open the refrigerator. Bats are attracted to light. Well, yeah. So you can find the Reaper and the entire record EP available on all your streaming platforms now.
Yeah,
Check
all
out
the interwebs.
Check out the
YouTubes.
video on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Check out all the videos. We put out 7 new lyric videos as well just recently. So
And
I'm going to go listen on MySpace.
Hey,
there you go.
And you can follow along for more info on your Facebook and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So get plugged in. But yeah, so like I said, June 15th, Miners Theater, Collinsville, Illinois. We got tickets available or through there's a QR code on the socials you can find.
Yeah, you can get to the event page on Facebook.
Yeah.
It'll send you to the ticket link.
So what, was that really like just obviously being a hometown theater, like you said, but was that really like the gist of why you wanted to go there, like to host this show for the big debut?
I knew being our first show, we were going to have a lot to put together.
Right.
Develop our production and everything. So we wanted to put on a good show. I've done traditional venues in St. Louis for over 20-something years.
Right.
And I love playing at Pops. I love playing at Red Flag and all these places. And I'm very good friends with everybody that, works there. Nothing to them, but I'd never played these traditional theaters. And I've been noticing a lot of these traditional theaters like Miners, and there's a few more in Belleville and Edwardsville, this side of the river, that are starting to do a lot more tribute shows and local showcases. I knew it would be a good opportunity to get a small crowd in there and make it feel like a big show. Whereas I don't feel like I'd be able to put on the same production at, some of the bigger traditional venues in St. Louis. So that's kind of why we chose there. We have more freedom to kind of do what we want. I think the week of the show, I'm probably going to be there every evening setting up and getting ready. So a traditional venue, I wouldn't have that kind of access. So I knew this would be helpful for our first show.
Well, you grew up down the street too, did you?
I did. See, as a kid, I always wanted to play Miners. It was actually a childhood dream of mine. Growing up as kids in high school, we always wanted to play at that theater. There's always theater groups up there, and sometimes bands would play, but if you didn't know who worked for the city, you couldn't play up there, and we were all playing in local groups and stuff and wanted to do that and never could. Now, it turns out about a year ago when we went to go shoot the music video there, I know the owner. I didn't know the owner as a kid.
Yeah.
And owner is a close mutual friend of mine, and he just happens to work for the city, and he was our foot in the door. I said, well, let's do this. And then since we did the video there, we said, well, now we owe you a favor. We need to put on a production here and make you some money.
Yeah.
Get some donations. It's all done by donation there. So all the ticket money mostly goes to the program for the theater to keep it up and running and fix it up.
Yeah, it's a non-for-profit, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the word I was
Yeah.
Place is amazing too. Beautiful venue. I know you guys touched about it before, but it's like, it's amazing.
It is cool.
And subconsciously, we've just got like an old theater fetish, because if you watch our first video, it was done at an old theater called the Granada down in Mount Vernon.
Okay.
And very beautiful little theater. Like, if you people haven't checked it out and you're in Mount Vernon, definitely check it out. Shout out to the Granada.
Another future project, we'll probably be playing a show there. We owe him a favor as well for shooting our first music video there. If you check out Morning After on YouTube, that was our first single we put out in 2022. Shot at the Granada.
Yeah. What do you have? What's that first memory of minors going to see a show there? Do you have?
I saw a talent show there when I was like 16.
Yeah.
I was able to sneak in, like we ran I don't think we were allowed access, but we ran in the back door when people were loading equipment in and out. And we saw bands playing in there, rocking out, and we want to do that.
Yeah.
That looks fun. How do we get in there and play a show for our friends?
Yeah. Yeah, my I didn't again my first time was seeing Al Holiday there, but my mother-in-law, I took her with me. Also grew up in Collinsville, and graduated from Collinsville and stuff. So she grew up going to that theater and stuff in high school and things. So I was
I've talked to a lot of people of that generation.
Right. So
they're all telling me, I grew up going to shows there, and they're so excited that they're doing shows again now.
Yeah. So yeah, she was, just having a great time, like looking at all the stuff and, just taking it all in but yeah, it's a cool space. So grab tickets, join us.
Have they done original bands before?
I was just going to note, this is actually the first heavy metal hard rock show they've ever done at this venue. So it's very exciting.
That's really cool.
For that. They've only done tribute acts and other kinds of rock music, but nothing as heavy as what we're about to
Al's like funk soul, R&B kind of stuff.
It's kind of exciting. I mean, another thing to note is there is no general admission. There is no standing or mosh pit area. It is all VIP reserved seating only.
Yes, it is.
Which is kind of unique and fun because I've never been to a heavy metal show where it was only reserved seating.
Yeah.
But me as somebody in my age, I would actually prefer that. So
right.
We'll see how it goes. It'd be fun. It should be a unique experience for the whole audience.
Yeah.
Well, I think it lends to both of our shows too. We're a very high production show. When we put together Red Tape Riot, the idea was we didn't want to just be some dudes on stage in our work clothes playing amps. We do every song has a video. There's lights and smoke and fog and makeup. Every song tells a story. And so doing a show like this in a theater, I mean, that's what it's made for.
Right.
It's made for that kind of show. And I've seen you guys in Hung Like a Martyr in the past. I know you guys are a high production, high energy show as well. So it just seemed like, man, this is a perfect
fit.
Perfect fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, our show is not very back and knees friendly, but the seats will be at the Miners Theater.
There it is. Speaking of Red Tape Riot, let's get into this project. This is still a fairly new project.
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple of tunes out already, kind of getting everybody a little taste of what you guys are working on. But what was the origin for this project? I know, like I said, I've met you guys in various projects over the years, but how does Red Tape Riot come together?
Red Tape Riot is a emergence of Thieves to Kings and Nothing Set in Stone,
right?
Kind of coming together. Some of the heads from each of those bands and plugging away and just kind of creating what we've created here as Red Tape Riot. Like he said, I mean, it's more than just music. It's a full show, lights, fog, sound, visuals. There's a stage video for each track that we play. And so we're just stoked to actually bring our full show to the stage. We've done it once, full production. As you kind of alluded to earlier, some of the traditional venues. So it's just a little harder pressed to get in there and with the changeovers and all that, the way it is, hustle and bustle.
We've got more in the works, shows in the works in the future that are going to let us do our full production also.
Yeah, for sure.
Down the road, But getting into the theaters, it's amazing. It was an opportunity we couldn't pass up, and also, to help launch you guys. That's
I saw what you guys were doing online,
right?
And I was just highly impressed at everything, the theatrics of it all. And I said, that's the kind of thing that would,
right.
work well with what we're doing. And when I went and saw you guys and you were at a traditional venue and they wouldn't let you put on your full production and show, you were kind of cramped, get on stage, get off stage as quick as possible.
Right.
I said, you know what? I bet they would appreciate the opportunity to do something like this. So
exactly. And we do. Highly do.
Yeah.
Yep. Forever grateful.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Red Tape Riot started as Thieves to Kings and Nothing Set in Stone. We were going through a million different members with Thieves, and we called in actually Sean from Nothing Set in Stone. He played bass for us for a little while. And then
they discovered that Sean should play guitar.
Right. And then we discovered that Sean should really be playing guitar. So then Phil joined.
And then Sean brought me out, and that was about
that was about it. And we got Eddie.
All it took was one time.
We got Eddie and decided that a rebrand was important. And also, much like these guys, we spent like 2.5 years.
Yeah, our whole production was definitely about a 2.5 years in the making, behind the scenes before we ever went public with anything. Like, made sure we had the branding right, made sure we had material, and be able to keep delivering and feeding the machine, so to speak.
Right. So it's the same, basically. We're on the same trajectory. I know we were kind of talking about some of that earlier, where there's some stuff you feel like you're ready to go, and then it's like a month before the show, and you're like, man, why does stuff just keep popping up on the list? Got to keep checking them off. Got to keep checking them off. Got to keep checking them off. But in the end, it's going to come out, and it's going to be an amazing show. This is going to be something that people don't want to miss. I promise you. I promise you don't want to miss this show.
Shake you up, you scared. What are the
Well, let's talk about the riff. This is your debut single, and we have a music video to go with it. Visuals shot by our buddy Juan Ibanez.
Yes,
That's correct.
And this,
Genius. The genius of Juan Ibanez.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he and so this is cool to see. Like I said, I think the video does a great job of kind of capturing what you guys are looking to create on the stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he nailed it for real.
Yeah.
He nailed it.
Matter of fact, hats off to him for sure.
Right, he heard the track and was like, "This is what I had in mind," and we were like,
Perfect.
"Right, perfect."
Everything
said,
I've seen him
it's
do
brilliant,
is
yeah.
just brilliant. It
Yeah.
is. It is. He does great work. Oh, yeah, get me in touch
And
with
quickly.
him.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
Juan, I have work for you.
Yeah.
absolutely, we absolutely will.
We
for
have
sure.
some more videos down the pipeline.
Well, and since then, while we were in there shooting, it was he had just bought that part of that studio from Store of the Year, I believe. They used to rehearse in that building, and extended it, made it bigger. It's even bigger now. Like they were building while we were in there shooting, they were building the other side of this building, and it's pretty.
Yeah,
cool. Now you
those
can
doors
like
are open for sure.
now you can drive you can drive a car in there. It's like one giant green screen on one side,
cool.
dude. It's huge. And it's awesome, you know. So yeah, I mean, so it's even better now.
There's a wall with the floor looks like a half pipe, so
It
it's
does.
seamless. There's no corners or crevices.
It's really cool.
That's, I mean,
Really, really cool.
he's got the ability to do just about anything for anyone. I mean, even outside of music, like commercial businesses and videos like that. It's pretty amazing setup, really.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Well, you can again find more Red Tape Riot on your favorite music platform and Facebook and Instagram and all the socials. So get plugged in. I like that you guys are really kind of both, but again, this is for both of you, but really focusing on the visuals. I mean, that's like kind of the era we're in now. Like if it's at least a lyric video or a live video or whatever it might be, but there's so much music is consumed through our socials now. You have to have that visual to pair with it.
All information's consumed in 15 seconds
Right.
nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So you've got to be able to keep the attention of everyone and try to keep everybody happy as far as keeping content going, keeping music coming, keeping videos coming, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? It's
keeping relevant too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I like that you get, like I said, you guys have a lot of various content out there already. So and there's plenty more on the way. So get plugged in on the socials and check out those videos. I was thinking you mentioned, so you guys do have get some of the paranormal things happening over there at your practice.
Oh yeah, we could tell stories for days on that. Especially,
it's an interesting place, man. It's and I don't know, like maybe it's just me, but think kind of but there seems to be a lot of parallels and this kind of heavier metal music and the paranormal and everything. So I don't know, are you guys as into it as some others are, or is it like you guys are it's like this
Now, see, this is where I
Or
wish
haunted.
Paul was here because
Yeah.
Paul would be going.
Paul would
ape
really-
shit
Yeah.
right
We
now.
got the
Yeah.
delving rods in the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Jim's got some delving rods or whatever,
dowsing rods.
Thousand
Thousand rods.
Yeah.
whatever they're called.
Yeah.
or horror movies. Are you guys into the?
Sure.
Hung Like a Martyr was seriously heavily influenced by horror movies,
Yeah.
and actually, even now, we still kind of hide a little bit of that in the Path To Midian stuff, even with the name, and that's what I was talking about with the dual meaning earlier. For those people that are religious, they would think of Midian as being the city that Moses led the Hebrews to after they fled Egypt. That was Midian. But for those of us that like Clive Barker, we all know that was the city of freaks.
The underworld.
Yep.
Yeah. And so if you like horror movies, you'll get a little bit of tongue in cheek from the name, but yeah. So we tried to hit as many bases as we could with that.
Yeah. And then you even got Michael Myers and in the mix too.
Yeah. He's over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
We, we've seen all kinds of stuff. Shadow figures, and I've had
Sometimes
stuff get
the
thrown
ghosts like
across
to
the
use
room.
our PA.
Yeah.
Recently, they've been using our PA.
Yeah, you'll hear like weird, like
They any good?
I don't know.
not my style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always tried to look at the scientific aspects of it. And when you think about what we consider our being, the firing of synapses across our brains, that energy constantly firing and constantly firing, they say that energy never ceases to exist. It just finds a new way to embody itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when the human body dies, all of that energy that controls those synapses that are firing across your brain, that energy has to go somewhere, and it just finds a new form.
Mm-hmm.
Energy is always transferred.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in every form,
So
right?
that's what I believe a lot of people are seeing when they see a lot of these supernatural things like ghosts and stuff like that, is literally just that energy finding a new form in something that we just don't understand.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Deep thoughts with Eric Spiller.
Yeah.
Yes. Deep thoughts with Eric Spiller.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I noticed like we got some.
Yeah, Paul's case.
Yeah, we got. I mean, obviously, there's.
That's also on his guitar. If you actually look on his guitar, that's why I wish Paul was here, because Paul is such a huge horror guy. If you ever get a chance, check out his shop, Hangar 18 Guitars in Lebanon, Illinois. They sell
great.
They sell a ton of horror stuff. He does guitar work and stuff. Man, it's great. But yeah,
does
that's
custom
his Day of
work.
the Dead guitar.
Sick.
He painted that himself.
He's a very professional, very good luthier, but he also does a lot of custom work too.
Yeah, y'all need work on your instruments, check out Hangar 18
That's
in
really
Lebanon,
good.
Illinois.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I got a pretty wild story in the paranormal thing for you.
All right.
So my daughter, for her birthday, wanted to do like a ghost tour. So we ended up doing the ghost tour at Lemp, which was awesome, like better than I could have ever imagined. And, part of our experience there finished in the basement of where we jam, literally 2 stories below. And the story that happened there is just incredible. And, to find the shiny brick room and to be where it was below us, and to know, like, we've had those dowsing rods go off in that spot right outside our door, like, go crazy. And then we go to shoot the video with JT at the studio, and we had a makeup artist there, and she's sitting there doing makeup, and I start telling this story, and it turns out she was the one who had this paranormal experience, because she could speak to the mediums or whatever. And I'm telling her story, and she's like looking at me like, yeah, that was me. And I was like, I got goosebumps telling you guys this right now. It's like completely full circle and crazy. But yeah, I'll have to get into like the details with you later, because it's a longer winded story.
Yeah.
But just for it to go full circle like that. And
Somebody had visions of that room, and that room didn't exist, but it turned out it was like walled off. Like it was like, and they found it.
Is that the one where they kept the kid upstairs or whatever?
No, it's this crazy, like, so if you've ever been in the basement at Limp, it's just, I mean, it's like stone pillars and like, but like this room is like shiny white brick, floor to ceiling, like.
yeah, basically she went on an expedition down there to try and, speak to the mediums or whatever. And she got signals telling her like, help, I'm in the shiny brick room, but nobody could fathom where the shiny brick room was, because it's nothing down there is shiny.
Right.
It is
all
very dingy and kind of like the basement at Miners probably.
Yeah.
She had that, and like a couple years later, I believe, they had gotten access to another point, and lo and behold, there's the shiny brick room. And like they put all these pieces together, and the story all fits in, and it's like, it's kind of mind blowing, like what it actually is.
Well, and they don't have any idea what that room was for, but I mean, like the fact that it's
like an old vault in the old brewery days. Like there's some kind
they
of
closed
vault
off a
down
lot
there.
of the wings down there due to dilapidation, right? Because isn't there
Yeah, like
supposed
all
to be
the
a
tunnels and
pool
stuff,
and
you
a
couldn't-
movie theater and shit down there. And
yeah. There's actually a pathway that goes between our building to the Lent Mansion.
I know a bunch of the tunnels under 44 collapsed like a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
and they had to shut a bunch of that down.
But at least at one point in time, like I said, there was a pathway that went straight to our building from downstairs.
All that stuff collapsing and getting closed down is actually part of the reason they discovered it, because there was an area that was deemed unsafe or unfit or whatever, and they were like, well, they basically got permitted to put up your generic wire fence, like held together with zip ties or whatever, just do not enter. But in the process, they were able to convince the city or whatever to build a staircase up to this door that, if you're on the floor in the basement, the door's like up higher. And so there's a door, but you can't get to it because there's no way to get to it. And so they were able to build the staircase and got access to the building. And through that door around the corner is where the shiny brick room was. So it's like, yeah. And then you're telling this story to people as we're getting ready for a music video. And then the person who did this experience is sitting there painting our faces. So it's like,
it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
I mean,
really cool, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm up there. I typically work evening from 2 to 10 p.m. So I'll go up there on days that we practice and stuff, and I just work from Limp. And a lot of the times when I'm up there, there's nobody there. Like, I'm up there by myself. You hear footsteps and people talking. Like, I've been in the bathroom before, and you can hear somebody walk in, the door slam. There's nobody there. I've actually in the middle of practice one time, back whenever it was still, back when I was doing Thieves to Kings in that room, we were in the middle of a set, and we had a box fan sitting on like a coffee table off to the right hand side of the thing, and I was in the middle of a song, facing the rest of the band. And it spun like a top from one side of the room to the other, hit the wall, and skittered like across the floor. Looked like somebody grabbed it and chucked it against the wall, like hard. There's no way that thing, you know what I'm saying? That was like somebody threw it against the wall.
Yeah.
That was not there.
The ashtray's another good one. We were up there practicing one night, just jamming, ashtray sitting on somebody's amp.
Mm-hmm.
And we're playing for probably an hour or so. Amps are going full steam. There's nothing but vibrations that would make something shake and fall off. It wasn't until all the noise stopped, the ashtray decided to float across the room and then fall to the floor and shatter and roll away.
5-6 feet away.
It just went across the room and down. Didn't just fall off. It was
crazy.
Pretty crazy watching that happen.
I never had any, I didn't really anything happen, but it was still super creepy just being in there. But I went to I did a podcast in Alton at it's like an old schoolhouse over there that's
I think I know
that's turned into
super haunted.
Turned into practice.
Alton in general is just super fucking
haunted. But we were in this there's band practice facilities inside there now. But we one of the guys, I guess he works there, so he knows the building, and he took us back to the part that's not open to the public kind of thing. And started walking us around, and it's all we have is our phone flashlights, and we're trying to look around, and it's just super creepy. And he's telling me stories somebody hung themselves in the gym there and stuff, and all these things. And I'm and I guess all these so all this is going through my head. I'm like, man, this is weird. I'm I'm ready to get out of here. But we did a podcast in the coffee shop up there, and then on the mics, as we talked about some of it, there's all kinds of clipping going on, and there's some sort of
interference.
Yeah, some sort of interference on, and it was really. I mean, and in the room we didn't hear anything, but as I listened back on what I recorded,
on the recording,
it was all this weird stuff on. I'm like, man, this is really strange. As we talked about them, they were decided to get on the microphones there. So
That's the stuff that always kind of bothers me a little bit, is the people that get too comfortable with it and have been around it too long. Like you were talking about, the guy was just leading you through the school, like, oh, and over here's where the guy hung himself, and now over here, that was the cafeteria. Like when you get that comfortable with the kind of supernatural stuff, it gets a little bit weird, man. Like you a little bit too used to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we've experienced it, but I'm by no means comfortable with it.
No.
It still keeps you on edge.
Hell, nowadays in the music industry, you got to be more worried about the living than the dead. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
That's true.
For sure.
Be in a dark room and all you hear is ding, 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 ding. You don't want that.
Love that song.
Can't stop, won't stop.
All right. Okay. I got some questions for you guys. Get some. Let's have some fun with these. So we're both bands. What's something you guys think you could do to get into the Guinness Book of World Records?
Oh,
is there?
Never had that one.
Yeah, that's a new
individually
one.
or as a band?
Yeah, I think as a band, I think it would maybe be good.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Oh.
And you can have fun or as serious as you want to be on.
I mean, I could have fun.
Longest concert?
There's a couple things that I know, but I know Paul wouldn't want me revealing them. So,
what's appropriate?
Right, what's appropriate?
I don't know what is appropriate.
That knocks everything out.
Sorry, Tommy Lee already plays drums in another band.
Exactly.
What's the longest concert ever?
I don't know.
Not ours.
I was gonna say probably Pink Floyd. Knowing that, man,
we're not doing that.
Fucking David Gilmour and his 40-minute guitar solos. Let me turn all the delay and reverb on and just play this note as bendy as I can for the next 30 minutes. I love David Gilmour too. For all the people that think I'm hating on the guy, he's a fucking genius. But you know what you're doing, David. Yeah, you know what you're doing, David. We all know what you're doing.
Trick.
Yeah. Anybody got one?
No, not really. Probably the largest collection of black clothing.
There you go. That's
might be able to nail that one.
I'll give you a run.
My wife always every time I bring home another band shirt, she's like, "Oh yeah, you needed another black shirt." And I'm like, and I'm like,
"It's like this isn't a shirt; it's a memory."
Yeah, but I always, my brain immediately goes to Walk the Line, where he's, you look like you're going to a funeral, and he's maybe I am.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, it's classic. But yeah, that's a good one for sure. I think.
That was a great question, by the way.
Yeah, that was a stumper. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that to be the first one. We'll put it that way. Like that came out the gates.
Way to just hit us over the head with the hammer.
Right. I don't know. I was thinking, you guys both like kind of come from different. So it's kind of it. I don't know. I'm not. Forgive me, but I'm not super versed in a lot of like hard rock and metal. Like I like listening, but there's so many people that are into it. There's so many different, you got your like power metal and speed, whatever, like all the different subgenres and things. And I feel like both of you guys kind of come from similar but different sides of it all. But like there's definitely a happy medium, I think, where you guys do blend well for both of your sounds. But do you guys like what do you guys consider like your various lanes of metal or rock? Like
we're literally just old school metal with a new school flair, you know what I'm saying? We had a little bit of tastes here and there of metalcore and stuff like that, but overall we're just old school metal, man,
with a taste of Bruce.
Bruce
is the thing that sets us apart from every other thing we've done. He's got that 80s hair metal vibe sound to his voice. He doesn't scream. He's all clean vocals.
And that was important.
And we're laying that on top of stuff that you would naturally expect to hear
A little gruffness too.
Yeah, it's got a little rasp,
screaming vocals.
Sure.
Which was nice. It was kind of what we were going for. Musically, nowadays it seems like it's all a pissing contest as to who can scream the lowest, who can tune the lowest, who can, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's great. That has its place. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves to play chug tunes and fucking sweep arpeggios. But, we wanted to stick to the old school, man. Like, we like melody. We want
to make a good song that people are going to enjoy.
Yeah,
I get one of our mottos and mantras
we want
throughout this
people to sing
whole
along.
process of developing this project was to serve the song.
Yeah.
Can you play the technical lead solo over the thing? Sure, but is that what the song requires or
And you're
needs?
just jerking off.
So
I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm just being real.
There's a time and place for all of it.
Well, that's like what Eric was saying. There's a lot of other mainstream acts that everybody's just trying to top the next thing, the next guitar riff, the next lick, the next.
I'm not so concerned about what other people are doing.
Exactly.
I just want to make good
or the
music that
fastest
people
drummer
like.
alive. Like that seems to be a common thing on the internet right now.
There are amazing musicians out there, amazing musicians, but that isn't going to be my cup of tea all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right.
You look at a band like, what is that? Tim Henson band. Is it Polyphia? Polyphia. Amazing musicians, amazing musicians. And I have nothing against them, but if you were to ask me, it just sounds like Weather Channel music that's been remixed by Skrillex. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And that's nothing against them, but that's just how it sounds to me, man. And trying to chase that level of musicianship and trying to chase, like everybody's trying to be faster, heavier, louder, like just.
Man, I don't
play a song worth of shit.
High at 67 with a chance of rain.
Yeah, exactly.
No, well, why should I be concerned about what other people are doing? Like, I want to make music that I enjoy, and I hope that other people enjoy, and then I hope it moves them in the way it moves me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Our number one goal is to connect with people. I mean, through song.
Yeah. I think it was, pretty sure it was like Seth Rogen in an interview talking about like there was like a run there like the early 2010s or whatever when they were like all these guys were like putting out like great comedies after and there was like a kind of a resurgence to that comedy, and he's saying that like they were all kind of pushing each other, like wanted to try to top the next, who has the the good, the best
joke.
Yeah. And then he said in the interview, he was like, and then Jason Segel came out and Forgetting Sarah Marshall and showed everybody his dick, and he's like, he wins. He's like,
right.
Where do you go?
Yeah, all right. How do we can top that? That's the funniest thing. It's like,
that's one of the greatest movies of all time, by the way.
And I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's extreme cases out there. Like you look at Alex Terrible from Slaughter to Prevail, and I mean that guy sounds like good Lord, I mean it's a demon, like But it's like where do you go from there? Like where do you go after Alex Terrible?
Phil Bozeman, like that guy's like 5 foot nothing.
You're gonna end up just puking in a bucket on stage to get the like it's not gonna work, man. Where do you go from there?
That does sound pretty metal.
Yeah. That was actually one of my favorite memories of ever seeing Children of Bodom. Rest in peace, Alexi. But I saw him at Pops over there in St. Louis when they opened for Lamb of God, and I believe it was Slayer. They did an outdoor show over there at Pops, and Children of Bodom was one of the openers. And this dude came out, Alexi. If you know who Alexi is, he comes out there swinging his guitar around him and everything, doing his whole thing, fucking rasping the entire time. Yeah.
Right.
Gets done with the song, goes to the side of the stage, like right into this damn bucket. And I mean, like, just loses his entire lunch. Whatever he had that day, it was definitely in that bucket because he was there for a second.
Right.
And like most people would already be like, I feel like shit, I'm going to stop this. No, he comes back out from that cabinet, swings that damn guitar around him and goes for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's metal, man.
I don't know. I didn't see that part of it. I'm hoping that that's kind of where this story leads to, but I saw the oh man, I'm gonna blank on their name now. Shit. Yeah, well, the lead singer's Eric. Is like they had that song, that's the biggest black ass I've ever seen.
Eric Nally.
Yeah. What's the
Foxy Shazam?
Foxy Shazam. There it is.
Big fan of it.
Yeah, yeah. I really like them, and so I saw them like twice in a few months. Like they did a Point Fest, and then I saw them in Springfield.
They're fantastic,
Yeah.
and
he eats like
the
an entire pack of cigarettes like during the show.
He eats the cigarettes on stage.
Unreal.
Yeah, if people,
He's smoking and he's just eating them.
Yeah,
It's nuts. I just saw them recently at Red Flag, I think it was.
he goes, yeah, I want a cigarette. Anybody got a cigarette? And people just start slinging cigarettes up.
Yeah.
So he grabs like a whole handful. He like puts them all in his mouth, lights them, and he's like smoking them. And then he like turns around the fire and eats them.
And no need to ask him how to get in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah.
You remember Chris Loeffler in Maiden Waves used to sit on that 5-gallon bucket. He would throw up every show. Remember that? He'd flip it. That's why he didn't have a throne.
You know,
The cigarette thing.
Yeah, that's it was
Badass
throw up.
GG Allen.
Badass
stuff.
drummer with the
Right.
Gators.
it was intense.
with
man.
no shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he took the shirt off because all
he
the
was-
ladies were like,
he was an animal. He was the living embodiment of the Muppet animal.
yeah.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah, good dude.
Well, let's talk about another one from Path To Midian, and we wanted to share a song called "This Day." You said this one's been doing really well
Been
for
getting
you.
a good buzz online right now.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
it's like blowing up compared to the other ones, and that wasn't really the one that we've been promoting or really expected to take off like it has, but for some reason it seems to be hitting. So.
I remember cold December, the day angels stood still, the violence, deafening silence, the day we won't forget, the cold December morning, a day we can't forget. Can find the joy inside my tears. They were going too soon.
Anything we wouldn't need to know, like around writing this tune or recording or anything that come to mind?
I know when they brought it to me, it was like a 10-minute long song.
Yeah.
And I condensed it down to about a 4.5-minute song.
Yeah, it had a whole acoustic intro. And
Yeah,
everything.
it was basically 2 songs.
Yeah.
And we had to separate it to make it more concise. And
but essentially, it's about people fighting back during a school shooting. You know what I'm saying? It's the lyrical content is basically talking about, you know, what would happen if the kids fought back. You know, in this day, they were going to rise up, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny. We got one that's about the same thing. In November 5th of 2009, I just got back from a year-long deployment to Afghanistan, and we were doing our standard readiness procedures, and I was in a mass shooting at Fort Hood, and it's the same concept. And actually, our stage video is
more surrounded by the theme of the school shooting and
school shooting.
You know, there's actually a warning that I put on the beginning of the video because it's pretty graphic and like,
right.
You know, we don't really support that. We just want to raise awareness, and there's a whole stat slide on there about, you know, how many bodies have been injured and killed and all these things over the last however many years.
Yeah, school shootings are becoming far too commonplace in our society, man. And whatever side you fall on the gun control laws, you have to be able to agree that it's becoming far too commonplace.
Yeah.
You
Kind
know?
of our concept, too, was just to bring awareness to the issue, not necessarily to take a side on it or anything.
Right,
but,
right. Well, something needs to be done, you know. I mean, plain and simple, whatever that may be. We all just need to figure out a way to agree.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. That's the biggest problem with today.
Far too much division in our society right now.
That's what the riff's about.
Yeah.
You know?
To bring it back to what we were talking about earlier. I don't want to step on what you guys are saying, but yeah, exactly. It's a big problem, man.
Just another reason we were meant to kind of connect and play this show. Like,
right.
You know, different styles, different sounds and backgrounds, but
our content, our messages are all very similar.
And our approach and our demeanor throughout the whole process too.
Right.
Like, you know, what we're doing is mirrored in you and vice versa.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. So pumped to play the show, man.
man.
I'm really stoked.
Well, yeah, come out again June 15th, Miners Theater. You're going to hear all these live and turned up real loud.
Mm-hmm. With a few surprises. We'll be playing the album in its entirety, but there will be a couple surprises here and there.
Yeah, very cool.
We also got a couple new tracks we're going to throw in there, too.
Mm-hmm.
You guys just dropped one not too long ago called Know Your Enemy, and this is also doing really well for you guys online, and I got a lyric video to pair with it, and this
by Tyler Cabellis, also very, very talented guy.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't worked with him, you guys should. I'll give you his contact info.
I just was viewing it on Facebook earlier. I was looking at your stuff, and I saw that. I'm like, well, I got to get his contact info as well.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very good. And, you know, it's very reasonably priced, too. So, yeah.
What about this tune?
Yeah, so actually, it's funny. You guys were just talking about your tune. This tune, when we released it, we were like, I don't know how well this one's going to do. We've got a couple others in the hopper that we know are going to do really well. And so we kind of like, we dropped the riff that has the big message about the you know, just the divide in society. Nobody's allowed to talk to each other anymore, man. Like, you know, you can't have like different opinions. Like, people just hate you, and it's ridiculous. You know, we need to get back to the point where you know, we can actually have conversations again, you know. But you know, Not the Enemy was one that we thought that was going to be weaker, and it's actually doing better than than the riff did, you know.
So far, anyway, yeah.
So far, thus
Just
far,
on the tracking of it, at least. But
you know, well, it's done better in the first month than the riff did, you know.
Yeah, my apology. I said Know Your Enemy.
No, it's okay.
I don't know why I wrote that down.
We call it affectionately NTE. So you know what I'm saying?
My apologies.
So yeah, I mean, that one's kind of it's kind of the same kind of message, you know. It's about, you know, I'm not your enemy, man. Like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. You may, our opinions may differ on this or that, but man, it's not the end of the world. Like, we can still go hang out. We can have a beer. You know, you don't have to like, you know, I mean, I feel like I've lost some of the best friends I've had in the world, like in my life.
Yeah, I think people would find that metal is surprisingly positive in its message if people would actually take the time to listen.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now we become the darkest side of man. What's what's in it? When the truth doesn't fit your script, so believe your breath. I'm not sure what I'm it's a process in my brain. Good intentions are not lost. Being right at any cost. Loving this all time to wait. Everything is on disgusting. I love your point to me. Eating and bleeding and staying. Devil, your trouble and bubbles. Makes you think it mistaken. Your misery knows. Did you see? I am not your enemy. Let's approach this civilly. Good intentions all lost. Being right at any cost. How did this all turn to it? Everything is how you hate. We may never see eye to eye. I still want you in my
In the same kind of sentiment, I've done quite a few, like, charity type things, and some of those guys who might look pretty scary on stage sometimes usually have some of the biggest hearts, and they're there to help you out. They're all down for whatever the cause and things to help out and support the community and things. So the same kind of thing, like, even though they're might play these aggressive guitar solos and drums and everything else, they're all got some big hearts too.
The singer from Cannibal Corpse, doesn't he go and like empty out one of those stuffed animal claw machines and gives them to kids? And
every
awesome.
city he goes to,
every city he goes to,
will go and
Dennis Rodman used to do that too.
Yeah, that's his pastime. He'll go to claw machines and win as many prizes as he can out of the claw machines, and then take them to the nearest orphanage or
donate them to kids.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
But hopefully this is just the start of everything for us. Hopefully we can get do this a couple more times and things continue to throw some parties together and
absolutely.
Things. So again, you can find all the details on the socials. Grab some tickets. Come out to Miners Theater, June 15th, Collinsville, Illinois, and have a great time.
Woo. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys all doing this.
All right. Well,
thanks for
very
doing
much,
this.
Shane. Yeah.
Thank you, Shane.
And let's do it again soon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Good.
Take it easy, guys.
Peace.
We'll see you June 15th, Miners Theater.